Hello, and welcome to Point to Play Games, where we're going to be playing, today, Kathy Rain, the Director's Cut. Honestly, I've never played this game before, don't know anything about it, so the only way for us to learn it all, figure it out, or go from really nothing to everything is by hitting new game and getting going.
Hey, you.
Okay, so, gets us right into it. I will say, one thing I did turn on was I turned on the speech never timing out, so it is going to be clicked through every time. Just want to mention that it's set up that way for no other reason than last thing we want to do is miss something while I'm talking.
Hey. Oh, man. Oh, God, this is so comfy. I'm just gonna lie here and suffocate on my own vomit now.
I had a thing I wanted to tell you.
Uh-huh. This room sure looks different when it's spinning.
So I was browsing through the used book ads in the paper when
Listen, Eileen, I'm totally excited about books right now, but...
Wait, hear me out. So I noticed this article about a war veteran from Conwell Springs who just died. I remembered that you used to live there and everything, and...
Oh, how I wish for joyful, blissful sleep.
And get this! His name was Joseph. Joseph Rain.
What did you just say?
You knew him, right? I knew it! I knew you'd know him.
Okay, so getting right into it, already a bit of a heavy feel. We're of course just gonna be sort of forthright. Seems like a college kid, something like that. Who knows? But yeah, was my grandfather.
Yeah, was my grandfather. Hey, wait a minute. I never told you where I grew up.
Oh, well, I might have sort of looked you up.
That is not cool, Eileen. Seriously.
So something else I will say is I like how already we're getting a real good idea of sort of the type of person that Kathy Rain is, especially in juxtaposition. A big word, no reason to use that. When compared to Eileen, she is very obviously a lot more free-flowy. This is very put together. Eileen's very put together. Like, already, we're only a few minutes in, and we already have some serious, like, storytelling is probably the best way for me to put it. Just based off of, or I suppose character understanding and character development. Just within a few lines, so that we understand, so that we know who we're dealing with and who we're looking at. Anyways, enough boring game analysis. Let's move forward into the game.
I just couldn't help myself.
Well, one of these days you're gonna help yourself to a restraining order. I'm just telling you this as a friend.
I know. Well, anyway, you should know that the funeral is tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you gonna go?
I don't know. Good night, Eileen.
Good night, Kathy.
Oh, God, make it stop.
Okay, like how it just sort of gives the little tutorial. Fortunately, we know how to do
Looks
this.
like Eileen left a note for me here. Hi, Kat. Since it's such a long drive, I set the alarm so you won't miss the funeral. Thank me later. E. I'm so getting a new roommate. Well, I guess I should get going. I'm late enough as it is.
Okay. So, okay, so spacebar, if we ever need to figure out what's interactable, and what we can really look at, it will probably be used here and there, especially given how. So, it's a dumb thing to say, but it's definitely a very pixelated game. It's very throwback in terms of like graphics and things like that. Uh, so there may be times where this is going to be the most important thing that we can do so that we actually know what we're fully looking at. Otherwise, let's take a quick look. So, standard bag system, we start off with a Zippo lighter, a pack of cigarettes, a stun gun, and a notebook.
I'll write down clues in this as I find them.
Cool, good old fashioned notebook. And let me see. I guess at this point, let's just start looking at things.
Eileen's girly suitcase. There's a sticker on it with her full name. Eileen Mildred Summers. Mildred! Oh my god, I'm gonna get her for that. I wish I could wrap up that fact and save it for Christmas. Makeup check, hair check, horrible mood and contempt for humanity check. We meet again, Mr. Bear. Don't give me that look. It's not my fault you ended up so close to my lighter.
I can't tell if she's sarcastic or sadistic.
Eileen's closet, filled to the brink with inherited clothes and Christian joy.
I feel like it's a bit of both.
Eileen borrowed it from school. She takes a bunch of computer classes. I'm no geek, but I know how to use one. A computer, that is. Not a geek. Color printer. Super fancy, apparently. A fact which Eileen loves to remind me of.
Okay.
Our room phone. It's got an external line. I don't need to make any calls right now.
So, what else can we look at? Let's look at,
My electric guitar. Got it cheap from a lesbian I met at a concert. Helped me get rid of my last 2 roommates.
Yeah.
Honestly, she can believe in what she wants as long as she doesn't try to shove it down my throat.
Very reasonable approach. Okay, so we're now we're late as it is. Just poster, door, alarm clock, a scanner.
It's some advanced scanner thingy.
You can't see this. I just got an achievement called Procrastinator. I can only assume it's for looking at a bunch of things without leaving. If they're going to make fun of me, though, us, for actually doing what you're supposed to do in point-and-click adventure games, I'm going to be super into this game. It's going to be great. So, let's see if that holds true and get moving. Okay, this is interesting. This little like screen where we can choose where we go. Obviously, we're going to the cemetery, and we'll go from there. Okay then.
Ugh, just my luck.
Do you know why I pulled you over, ma'am?
Well, all of these are 100% sarcastic. So, what type of like sarcasm are we going for? So it feels like it may be a poor idea to be insulting, but let's just go with a general one.
It's gotta be to compliment me on my driving, right?
Trying to be a smartass, ma'am? Nobody likes a smartass. Do you know how fast you were going?
Yes.
And?
Yes, sir.
A smartass playing dumb. Aren't you just a perfect blend of obnoxious?
I guess so. Look, I'm really sorry, officer. I'm in a huge hurry to this thing, and the road has been empty for miles. You know how it is.
Well, what I do know is that the speed limit here is 65. I clocked you at 77. You're getting a ticket.
Oh, to the movies? I prefer horror flicks.
Regular comedian, huh? Don't quit your day job.
I feel like she probably could have handled that better. But it seems very in character for what she is so far.
Well, here we are after a 40-minute drive and a harebrained speeding ticket. God, I really need a smoke. Does anyone object? Guess not. Dead people rule.
Okay. Very interesting. I can't really tell how I feel about the game so far. It's obviously way too early. It's definitely I can't decide if it takes itself seriously or not. And that's a weird thing to say. But it seems to be somewhere in between wanting to be kind of like hard. Not hard as in difficult, but hard as in like kind of like hard ass. Like very aggressive. Or not aggressive. I guess I'm not even totally sure what I'm trying to talk about. Or say. But I think 12 minutes is probably a little too little to make a real feeling or decision about it. So, time to just kind of play the game. I know I said that already, but you know, if you've watched any of my content, you know I just can't help but talk sometimes. So, time to not interrupt anymore. Let's just get further into the game and only talk about it in a content perspective.
No time for that now. I'm late for the funeral. No time for that.
We are gathered here today to honor a person of great integrity, a pillar of the community, and a decorated war hero. His name was Joseph Irving Rain. We all remember his warm heart, his compassion, and his eagerness to help others. His passing, while our loss, is surely heaven's gain. Now we entrust our brother Joseph to God's mercy. We commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ, who will transform our frail bodies so that they may be conformed to his glorious body, who died, was buried, and rose again for us. To him be glory forever. Amen.
Oh, Kathy, you big baby. Just talk to her.
Mrs. Rain. Is this my grandmother or my mother? Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Excuse me? Mrs. Rain?
Have we met, hon? You look strangely familiar.
It's me. It's Catherine.
Catherine who?
You don't recognize me? I guess it's been a while. I might be a bit taller than you remember me.
Kathy? Bless my soul. Look at you, all grown up. Oh, how I wish Joseph could see you now, finally coming home.
Let's hope he can. Wherever he is.
A comforting thought, dear. Lord, how long has it been? 10 years? 15?
15 sounds about right. I was 6 when Mom took me away.
Goodness, we have some catching up to do then. I want to know everything. Listen, I'm not quite ready to leave yet, but why don't you join me at the house in half an hour?
Sure, I'd love to. I passed it on my way here. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
I'll see you soon then. I'm so glad you found your way back home. I can't wait for us to have a chance to talk.
Same here. See you in a bit.
Okay. So yeah, we have a new location now, which is the house. Can we look at it?
Rest in peace, Grandpa. I wish things could have been different.
Very sad thing. Very sad thing losing a loved one. Even if it's one you've been somewhat estranged from, for whatever reason.
A family mausoleum. It says, price. The family must have been fairly rich. Those things don't come cheap.
Alright, let's talk to the priest and see if she maintains her
I'm sorry for your loss.
sarcasm.
Thanks.
If you wish to find God, the Church of the Holy Trinity is always open to you.
Is that so?
Here, have a brochure. It's never too late to turn away from a path of sin.
So, alright. This unto itself is a very interesting sort of level of question, because he is making an assumption that she does live a sinful life. The problem is we know he's right, but nonetheless, as a man of the cloth, he should be more open-minded, I suppose, in his approach. At least in my opinion. So this is definitely my answer.
And what makes you so sure I'm on a sinful path, Father? Wouldn't you say that prejudice is but a small step from the 7 big ones?
I simply meant that we are all sinful creatures, child. I hope to see you at the church.
Don't get your hopes up, buddy.
I'll pray for you. I wish you comfort in this time of grief.
Okay. So now we're back on the road. Bike selection. We're definitely checking that out. Okay, so I guess we'll find different bikes or different bike skins. I mean, it's a nice little touch, but I wonder if there's going to be a point to that. However, let's make our way to the Rain residence and talk to Mrs. Rain, our grandmother.
Grandma, anybody home?
Okay, she seems not to be home yet. So let's just kind of look around. Standard
A
stuff.
mere single pair of boots on display. Boy, do we live in different worlds. Nice black leather coat. Right up my alley. Nice black leather coat. Right up my alley.
Okay, thought that those were separate.
Cute red horse. It's some old Swedish thing, I think. This paint looks fresh. Grandma must have had this restored recently.
Okay.
An old wheelchair. Not too dusty. Grandpa must have used it towards the end.
Let's check out...
A small table lamp.
Alright, there we go. Something to actually move towards. Okay, so we could make a phone call. Let's look
I don't have anything to search for yet.
Okay. Okay, so we can call back to our dorm room. I mean, I guess just for the sake of seeing what happens.
I don't have anything to talk about with E right now.
I wonder if E is going to kind of be our sort of like pseudo computer whiz the whole time. The person that when we have a question or something that we're unsure about, or we need something computer... I wonder... Let me put it this way. I wonder if she's going to kind of be the Watson to our Sherlock in some ways. We'll have to see how that develops.
Some kind of winter forest scene. I've always wondered if it's supposed to be Conwell Woods or not. A wedding photo from when my grandparents married. They look younger than I am now. Things have sure changed.
Okay, let's go through the living room door, I suppose.
Oh, hello, dear. I was just wondering what took you so long.
Sorry, I couldn't resist taking that old wheelchair for a spin. Oh, don't give me that look. I put it back.
You haven't changed one bit. Always kidding around, just like when you were little. Come have a seat. We have so much to talk about. So, now, tell me about your life in the city.
Oh, there's not much to tell. I'm going to school for journalism. It's my second year. I ride a motorcycle in case you missed it there out front.
Ah, that's right. Just like your father.
Yeah, I suppose.
I must ask, have you heard anything from your father? Anything at all?
No, nothing since he bailed way back then.
I expected as much. He disappeared without a trace.
So I can't help but wonder if maybe her father disappeared under mysterious circumstances and everyone just assumed that he left. I guess we'll find out as the game goes on, maybe, or maybe not. Who knows? Just an interesting little thought.
No matter, that's ancient history. How's Sharon then?
So we could tell the truth or avoid the subject. I feel like she seems to be forthright specifically with her grandmother, or she was, quite honestly. So we're just going to keep the theme.
Mom is... I had her committed to a place where she could get some real help. I just couldn't take it anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that. In spite of everything that happened when she took you away.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry I didn't visit sooner, Grandma. Mom, she told me all these horrible lies about you and Grandpa. When I was old enough to understand what she was doing, I felt like it was much too late.
It wasn't your fault, dear. You were a child. I'm just happy that you're here now.
Me too. So, what about you? How have you been doing all these years?
I've been lonely ever since the accident. There's no denying that.
What accident?
Goodness gracious. Of course you don't know. She took you away before it all happened.
Don't know what.
I will never forget that dreadful day. August 16th, 1981. It was the middle of the night when Sheriff Truman knocked on our door. He had Joseph with him. I couldn't even recognize Joseph at first. All dirty and wet with an awful blank stare on his face, like his soul had been ripped from his body. Since that day, he never spoke a word, forever confined to that blasted wheelchair.
Really? For all this time? I had no idea.
It came as a shock to all of us.
That's horrible, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, dear.
Okay. So now we start to see how the gameplay kind of works out, it looks like. So we will have different things that we can read off and talk about specifically. We can probably reference and show different objects that we have on our person to various people. Let's start with just the incident in 81.
Why do you think Grandpa suddenly left that night in 81?
I haven't the faintest idea. He acted very peculiar not long before it happened, disappearing for hours at a time. At first, I even suspected he was having an affair. When I asked him about it, he just said he was chasing old demons. It must have had something to do with the war.
Okay, we'll just go right down the line. I imagine we'll be able to ask all of the questions.
Maybe it was post-traumatic stress disorder? Grandpa always had a hard time showing weakness.
I don't know, dear. I'm just speculating. I didn't think too much of it at the time. Joseph was a man of few words. I'm sure he just didn't wish to burden me with it, whatever it was.
What did the doctors have to say about Grandpa's condition?
Persistent vegetative state. That's what they call it. I've heard it all by now. One doctor said it was a stroke. Another claimed it was a seizure. The third hack tried to sell it off as a severe infection. It's all a load of tripe. I had an MRI performed on Joseph. It's one of those state-of-the-art head scans.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes, well, according to the scan, his brain was completely intact. They thought it was a technical problem at the time, some kind of glitch, but the result was the same after 3 different scans on 3 different machines. Eventually, they had to confess that they simply had no credible explanation for the state he was in.
And this injury just happened to occur on the very same night he mysteriously disappears?
Indeed. I refuse to believe it was a coincidence.
Okay, so now I guess we're starting to see the plot, like why this game's a game. I imagine we're going to end up doing some investigation surrounding this and discovering probably a lot of things. But for now, let's ask about the police.
What did Sheriff Truman have to say about the matter?
Not much. He said they simply found Joseph in that condition on the outskirts of town. The sheriff was convinced there was some kind of foul play involved, but the investigation turned up nothing. He later said that he was sorry, but that he was forced to close the case.
You know, I could try to find out more about this.
You're welcome to try, dear. Some kind of closure would mean the world to me.
Okay, I think I'll head over to the sheriff's station for a little chat then. Would be nice to witness police doing some actual police service for once.
Sure, you go ahead. Let me know if I can be of any more help.
Okay. We have a random church brochure. We could ask about this.
What do you think about this church, Grandma?
They seem harmless to me, but they can be a bit pushy at times.
Huh, you could say that. Handing out pamphlets at funerals is in pretty bad taste.
Awfully strange behavior for a priest, I'll give you that.
Okay, that's something that we were thinking in the first place. I was thinking in the first place. I don't think I need to show a Zippo gun, pack of cigarettes, or a Zippo lighter to Grandma. So we'll just kind of end the conversation for right now.
Gotta go, Grams. Talk to you later.
Bye, Kathy.
Well, there is definitely more to look around this room and an upstairs to go to, but that is going to have to wait until next time because that's all the time we have for today. So thank you once again for joining me at, well, here at Point to Play Games. I look forward to seeing you next time for more Kathy Rain Director's Cut. And always remember to make a point to play games. See you next time.